The Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca, is a religious duty for every able-bodied Muslim. It's the subject of a new show at the British Museum in London, the first full exhibition on this subject. This view of the city shows the mosque with the square black Kaaba at the centre of the sanctuary area. Mecca, in modern-day Saudi Arabia, was the home of the Prophet Muhammad, and last year some 3 million people made the full pilgrimage, which consists of a series of rituals centering on visits to significant sites. This is one of the oldest Qurans in existence, the Mail Quran, dating from the 8th century and written in a sloping Arabic script. It has been lent to the British Museum by the British Library. Another Islamic treasure in the museum is this ivory sundial and compass called a Qibla pointer. It shows the direction of Mecca, which Muslims must face during daily prayers, from every one of the cities inscribed around its outside. The one written in red is Constantinople, where the Qibla pointer was made in about 1582. Another 16th century gem is this map showing the Kaaba in Mecca, the black cube in the middle, as the centre of the world. Millions of pilgrims converge on Mecca from all over the world, from Russia, South Africa, the Philippines, Africa and Australia, as well as from across the wider Middle East. Shias and Sunnis put aside their sectarian differences. Men and women travel and pray together. In past centuries, the arduous journey would have involved long weeks on camel, on donkey or on foot, pilgrims first converging on major centres and then travelling on together in caravans. Now, airlines run package tours and private jets land close to the specially constructed train lines. Since 2010, there has even been a metro system. The journey to Mecca has inspired contemporary artists too. This, by Ayman Yosri Daidban, is entitled We Are All Brothers and was made in 2010. Back in the mid-19th century, this lavish 4-metre mahmal, beautifully worked in silver filigree on appliqued velvet, was transported on the back of a camel as the centrepiece of the procession that left Cairo each year as the pilgrimage began. Ancient though the Hajj is, the modern numbers invoke serious modern crowd control problems. Pilgrims must perform tawaf, walking 7 times counterclockwise round the Kaaba, followed by sa'i, running or walking 7 times between the hills of Safa and Marwa. This is a reenactment of the frantic search for water of Hagar, Abraham's wife, after he cast her and her son Ishmael out in the valley of Mecca as a test of faith. As she searched, a spring in the ground was revealed to her by an angel. It became known as Zamzam. From Persia come early images of the Hajj. This illustration, made in Shiraz in about 1410, shows pilgrims at the sanctuary, performing the ritual of touching the rock through the Kaaba curtain, and all wearing the white ihram garments that are still part of the ceremonies. And from Turkey in the 17th century, this panel, made up of 6 square Iznik tiles, depicts the Kaaba within the mosque, and is inscribed with a poem that talks of God's forgiveness of the sins of all Hajj pilgrims. Jump across the centuries, and we find a contemporary Saudi artist, Ahmed Mata, making his interpretation of the magnetic pull of the Kaaba, the milling crowds turned into iron filings. Here are pilgrims performing another of the required stages of the Hajj. They go to Mina, where they spend the night in prayer in a city of tents. In the morning, they proceed to Mount Arafat for a period of contemplation from noon to sunset. If any pilgrim misses this, the Hajj is not valid and has to be done again another year. Once the rituals are completed, the pilgrim acquires a title, Haji or Hajjah for women, and is issued with a certificate. This one, from the 17th or 18th century, is actually a proxy certificate, made for a rich man whose Hajj was completed on his behalf. And of course, there have always been souvenirs. This magnificent example is a waistcoat made in the Malay Peninsula in the late 19th century out of the silk of a Kaaba curtain. And in Egypt, the pride of completing a Hajj makes past pilgrims go as far as painting their houses with their exploits and the story of their travels.